What's good, guys? This is Zekia Yvette, and welcome back to my channel.
House call, no rest. Pull up on your shawty and a friend next. House call, no text. I've been up all night, baby, no stress. House call, no rest. Pull up on your shawty and a friend next. House call, no text. I've been up all night, baby, no stress.
What's good, y'all? This is Zekia Yvette, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we are going to be talking about what has prevented me from being the creator I've always wanted to be. And I also want to touch on analysis paralysis. And yeah, let's dive right back. Let's dive into the video. I talked about this on my podcast last year, and I enjoyed releasing this episode because analysis paralysis is like a real thing. Everyone check out my podcast. It is called Big Vet Speaks. And if you want to dive deeper on analysis paralysis, it's going to be the episode Perfectionists Listen Up, Are You Stuck? And yeah, I really liked making that episode because I felt like after that I started creating a little bit. And after a while, I had a hiatus and I stopped creating. But I felt like that video is what really helped me, get my creative juices flowing. It's kind of connected to just the overthinking process for creators, writer's block. So we're going to talk about analysis paralysis first. So analysis paralysis, the definition of it is when overthinking leads to an overwhelming state which prevents you from moving forward with movement on a decision or task. It's like the circle diagram. And so you have a new decision that you want to make, right? And then the first bubble is you freeze up. And then the next bubble is you analyze your choices. Then the next bubble that it leads to is overthinking literally everything, even things that has nothing related to the decision, just overanalyzing. And then you finally come to a decision, but then start you start second guessing on a decision, and then you freeze again. And then that same thing, it just keeps on happening in a cycle. And those are like the 5 steps. So you know that you're experiencing uh analysis paralysis if you freeze, then you analyze, then you overthink everything, then you come to decision, and then you start second guessing, and then you freeze again. That's when you know you are experiencing analysis paralysis. So something that I've just always wanted to work on is not only self-development, but just overthinking in general, because I feel like overthinking holds you back from a lot of things that you might want to do in your life. And analysis paralysis could contribute to your overthinking. And right here, I have the formula, the 5-step formula to move past analysis paralysis. And also forgive me for looking down at my notes. So I say exactly what it is. The first step is stop aiming for perfectionism. In my first video, if you care, you was watching my first 2 videos, so it doesn't matter which one it was. Thank you for watching my previous videos. Anyways, I talked about it before on perfectionism and how that can it's going to get you nowhere. Like, perfectionism is cool. It's a great quality to be precise and to do things a certain way, but it's also important to be flexible. And you can't be flexible if you're always being a perfectionist. So stop aiming for perfectionism. The next thing that you should do is stop placing every decision on the same level. You have to consider each decision that you make along with the resources that you have and the circumstances that are happening. The next step is don't be afraid to go with your gut. If your gut says, do this, just do it. Most of the time, you're right. You guys ever took a test and let's say you circle C, and then you're like, and you don't know the answer, but something in you is like, circle C, right? But then you're like, let me change it. Let me change it to B. And then you get your results back, and the answer was actually C. Yeah, it's because you were supposed to select what your first thought was. You were supposed to select whatever your gut was telling you. So therefore, sorry, wrong one. Don't be afraid to go with your gut. Just whatever you decide, that's what you decide, and that's it. And also, people, I feel like they want to change um their decisions or go away from their gut because they feel like, oh, I don't want to mess up. I don't want to make the wrong decision. Sometimes in life, you just have to make the wrong decision because you have to grow somehow. And if you keep on running from, I don't want to mess up, I don't want to make a mistake, that's going to get you nowhere in life. So go ahead and mess up now and correct it later. All right, step number 4, reduce the amount of decisions you have to make. This is a great one. Okay. I experienced this a lot in college where I had to make a lot of decisions about work and then a dance team and then my social life. And then, you know what? Let's cut some of these decisions out. Or if you are able to, if some of the decisions can be decided by somebody else. So like if you're on a team and you don't know if you want to decide an outfit, and it's like, co-captain, can you decide this? Pass on to somebody else. Get that relief off of, or get that worry off of you, and give a little bit of relief to yourself. So minimize your decision making so you can make clear decisions. The last and final step of analysis paralysis is place the boundaries around a decision. As an adult, I am learning that boundaries is so important. Oh my goodness, boundaries are so important. If you have no boundaries, I don't know what to tell you. Boundaries are, it's so healthy, it's so relieving, and I feel like I'm now just starting to do that. And just the little boundaries is making a big impact in my life, and it helps. So if your decision is to do something a particular way because it benefits maybe your sleep schedule, the way you eat, time management, then stick to it. Because if not, that's going to lead to something else. That could lead to you not having boundaries, can lead to an emotional breakdown, and that's another conversation. Analysis paralysis is for my perfectionists and creatives, or anyone who is just stuck on taking a decision or a new task towards their dreams. So, yeah, try not to paralyze from overanalyzing. Also, another term that I want to share with you guys that is kind of connected to just writer's block, creatives not being able to create, is rejection sensitivity dysphoria. And rejection sensitivity dysphoria is a condition that causes people to experience extreme emotional pain when they feel rejected or fail, right? And a way that you can, if you feel like you might have this condition, and when I say condition, doesn't mean like it's a disease, like anybody can have this, just failure, people being afraid to fail. Something that can help you with this is rejection therapy, putting yourself through a lot of rejection that you get immune to people saying no and being like, okay, next. Move past those things. You don't want to stop yourself. Those things is stopping yourself because no one else is doing it except you. Like, it's you and your brain, it's you and your mental health. Like, remind yourself that you have agency over yourself. Remind yourself that you can control these things so you can move forward in life. I talk about both of those things on my podcast as well. I just talked about rejection sensitivity dysphoria. No, sorry. I talked about uh rejection sensitivity dysphoria last year, or this year in February, I think, on my podcast. And the rejection therapy, that was recent. So if you want to hear more on that, tap into Big Yvette Speaks. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. This is part 1 of what prevented me from being the creator I've always wanted to be. Please tap into the next video, part 2, on why, I couldn't do it, but now I can do it. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. Don't forget to like. You can drop a comment as long as it's kind. If not, I will delete it. And also, don't forget to follow my podcast. It's called Big Yvette Speaks. It's on Spotify. I'm slowly going to transition into Apple Podcasts one day. But other than that, until next time, and thank you so much. Bye.